shells in it. But yeah, brocade into red crackling crossette finale with silver waterfalls, which is something that we should really look forward to. But listen out for that noise.
Yeah.
That noise is going to thunder out. But here we go with the countdown.
Yep.
7, 6,
5,
5, 4, 3.
Here it is. Anytime
2,
fireworks.
1.
Another fantastic start. Night 2 officially underway there, thanks to Anytime Fireworks. If that was one of your displays, Andy, I think you'd be feeling pretty pleased, right?
Yeah, I think Adam Frost from Anytime Fireworks firing on the Cobra firing system, was really happy with that. We really enjoyed the start. It had a very good structured start. I saw some of the best Farfallis effects that we've seen in the competition. At the start, we had some beautiful pillar mines going off as well. A really well put together display that was received well by the audience.
Yeah.
There we go. There are those Farfallis shells. You know, we've seen lots of really good ones here, but those were enjoying. And then we had beautiful pillar mines down below, colour changing. You can see those there. They look like columns. You say they're your fibre optics.
Yeah, I think there's a better word. Fibre optic cables is giving like broadband. It's not, but it's better than that, obviously. Yeah,
absolutely. We had silver strobe shells coming up, and some of those were drifting. Look at these. They're long duration, and some of those come right back down to the water there. You can just see them landing in the harbour. That's why we have the exclusion zone, thankfully policed by the water marshals, who do a brilliant job here, along with the King's Harbour Master. Really very enjoyable. And then we went into a crackling with blue and red pistol section. We had red, white and blue. And then did you see the ring shells and the smiley faces and the heart shells as well? Didn't spot the macaroons. I might have seen them, but I know what they were talking about. I don't think our audience would have necessarily all spotted them.
I think if you missed them, it's certainly going over my head, that's for sure.
Yeah, there was some lovely shells, turquoise with a big silver willow pistol that I thought was absolutely fabulous. We had pink swimming stars, and then that finale at the end, the finale, which... it was noisy, it was full on. We went from colour to red, white and blue, through to brocade, and then to red strobe and red, white and blue, and then that huge ending where we had those 300-gram ground maroons that go off that really shook the ground right at the very end of it. So a very strong display, and considering the difficult conditions that Anytime Fireworks have had, I think they've done very well. I imagine that they probably have had a little help from friends just to get it. You know, if teams are affected by the weather, people muck in and they get stuck in and help crews out. But we were looking at the weather, weren't we? And the cloud base.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that we're kind of just on the cusp of getting away with it tonight in terms of where the cloud is lying, just at the top of the firework area.
Yeah, you can see that most of these are bursting just below, but it's not the case all of the time. There were a few lower ones that were coming through and being blown through that did cause a bit of an obstruction, but generally, by and large, it was only the very largest shells that were going up and bursting. But you said that you quite liked it.
I think it adds a little bit of not spooky's the wrong word, but it just adds a little bit extra. Seeing all the cloud light up at the very top of the display, it's got quite a nice feeling about it. When you have maybe a slight obstruction when it comes to having a cloud base, how do the judges account for that?
The judges will be guided by the technical judges, who are experts and who've been judging here for a number of years. So they have seen it all before. They've seen the different look at those smiley face shells, and then going into the heart shells as well, and the crackling. So I did like these, and the ring shells down below. Can you see those? Just the lower level ones. They're really, really special. But yeah, the judges will, if they feel it's necessary, make an allowance, and that might be an increase in points for a team, or a bonus point or something like that. It's entirely down to them. It's not possible for you and I to find out. Find out whether that's going to be done or not. But they will try and do it with an even playing field. And it could be that on one of the competition nights that it's not even like it was between yesterday and today, where we've had a beautiful day, horrible day. It could actually all happen on one night. We could have dry conditions and then the worst storm pass through during the competition. So they'll make those decisions as they go along. I have confidence they'll make the right ones.
I mean, we know just through the regular, regardless of the weather, there's already so many moving parts in getting championships like this going. So, for changes in the weather, it just adds to the whole experience.
Yeah, it does. It very much does. Everything is blowing through. It's very much blowing towards Mountbatten. So exclusion zones will be extended downwind just to keep everybody safe from the fireworks. Safety is always the number one thing. And Charlotte and Andy, I'm just getting an update.
I know. I can tell. I know when you're listening. I can tell.
Yeah. Team 2 are investigating a fault with the firing system at the moment, and so that may mean that we get some kind of delay. So that might mean that we get a delay in the start, although we've had a green light from the King's Harbour Master to go ahead. So if you remember, the water marshals, they radio the King's Harbour Master. Yeah. King's Harbour Master, he radios event control. Yeah. Event control, they contact the adjudicator. Yeah. So we've had that green light, but at the moment we don't have a working firing system. Okay. And so we have to see what's going to happen. They'll be given a bit of time by the adjudicator, but one of the things that we've seen in the past, and we can't rule out in this situation, is the adjudicator potentially asking Team 3 if they could go swap order, and they do their show, and that will give Team 2 a little bit more time to fault find. Team 2 are running the Cobra firing system. Okay. The Cobra firing system of celestial firework displays. It's a wireless firing system. It's used literally all over the world, and you know, it's just going to one of those things that they're going to have to crunch their way through, and hopefully they'll recover it.
How difficult is it if your firing system has a fault or it's not working? How easy is that to rectify? Is it kind of a case of turning it off and on again? Is it more complicated than that?
It's in some firing systems it is, but every firing system is different. Every firing system, some of them are completely wired. Some of them, like tonight's, the Cobra firing system is a wireless firing system.
So does this just mean the connection between that and the fireworks?
Yeah, some of them have a cable that goes physically to every firework, but some of them it's all done by radio. Okay. And some of the firing systems that work on radio use different frequencies. Some of the firing systems use Wi-Fi frequencies like we have at home. Yeah. Wi-Fi frequencies get used a lot, and so there can be a lot of noise in the area. I don't think that's a problem tonight because they're out on the breakwater and there's not many people using Wi-Fi out on that breakwater. But that can be one of the problems. We've had competitions in the past around the world where it's not been possible to get the firing system working. Yeah. Hopefully that's not going to be the case here, and hopefully they will give us a great show very shortly. But yeah, nervous time. You really feel for them because they'll be under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress because it's not just the planning that they've made all along. It's the horrible day that they've had today setting it up. You know, the last thing that they want is their show not to fire, because if that show doesn't fire, that show is going back with them.
Is it, at the moment, are you still thinking Celestial are going to be next in number 2?
I think the latest that I've had is that there's a 2-minute delay, so I think we're back on track.
All right, well, let's listen to Celestial then, because we've been down, of course, to the breakwater again today to speak to them, so let's hear what they had to say.
My name is Jordan Harris. I'm from Celestial Firework Displays. We're a team from Leicestershire, and it's our first time competing in the British Firework Champions in Plymouth. We're really looking forward to providing a fantastic display for you. Look out for our opener of fantastic Italian multi-break cylinder shells. Look out in the display for a great colour change sequence and a massive ending with a very loud finish.
Well, we're going to take a leap of faith and assume that Celestial will get things back on track in the allotted time, and they're going to fire next. Andy, tell us a little bit about them. They are a Leicestershire-based company, is that correct?
Yeah, they're Jordan Harris is who I spoke to earlier. He's got a selection of special Italian cylinder shells producing multi-breaks, including some San PO 12-break shells, so they come in breaks of 4, those, and he's described them as special ones. They're off-list. The supplier doesn't supply them to everybody, apparently.
Oh, okay, so special occasion, very good.
Let's see him change that now that everybody's heard this. Lots of bright colours, going into a sequence of colour changes, and then a ghost shell sequence using single shots down below and aerial shells in unique colours above. Those are the ones where they appear and then they disappear and then another part appears somewhere else. So we call it a ghost shell. The Japanese make really good ones of those. There's a focus on reports and noise. Report is the name for a bang at the start and the end with a timed single shot sequence to give rhythm. Rhythm is one thing that the technical judges are going to be looking for.
Right.
Their finale, it's not a typical brocade finale. There's a big focus on silver. In their finale, instead of the gold brocades that we've seen in some of the shows, they've got Italian, Spanish, Chinese and British fireworks, including 5-inch salute shells from Illusion Pyrotechnics.
And we had Illusion Pyrotechnics providing some shells yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, absolutely. So it's great to have stuff that's made in the UK to order just a few days before. What a great service.
Yeah, I know. This is it, freshly made. And
freshly made.
Here they are at the British Firework Championships.
We've had the 1-minute warning, so we're back on track. But we got 3 8-inch shells in the finale, 2 Italian, 1 Spanish, and there's a colour-changing ghost shell that's going to appear, and also a silver rain with red multi-flash from Perderte Fireworks, an Italian company. So I think we've got a slightly different take on it, but it sounds really good. Celestial Fireworks Displays will put a lot of work and effort into this. And all we're waiting for now is the 10-second countdown,
this is the finger on the button scenario.
Yeah, you just don't want to dodge.
Someone's there.
Hovering over, waiting. It's probably the most nervous time that they have out there, is when they come to press it. And, of course, you want it to fire. That's the thing that they'll be looking for.
If you accidentally pressed it early, would you get penalised?
I think so, potentially, because it's all timed. And there's actually a red, amber and green firework at the start of the show that we'll see in everyone. But here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
This is
3,
Celestial
2,
Firework Displays.
1.
Goodness me, that was a good one.
Wow, wow, the judges have got a difficult job.
Yeah.
That was a great show. Absolutely spectacular. Well done by Celestial Firework Displays. There were so many little bits of that we were enjoying, but the crowd were cheering as well. We had started off with brocade crowns with green strobes, some very big shells. You can see here at the start that we first of all thought that the cloud had come down, and it was lower than the previous.
It was a little bit worrying to begin with, but it all kind of appeared before us over the course of the display.
It settled, and even the highest shells in the finale you could see right to the top. So that was good. They had beautiful red ring shells and some lovely European mines that were going on. And there were also some sequences that hopefully we'll pick up on during this. But there was an amazing single-shot sequence that we saw that had heart shapes made on the ground level going up. Normally we see heart shells bursting in the sky. What we saw in this display, it'll be in a few minutes' time, is hearts actually being made from the ground upwards. We had smiley face shells, but look at these. I mean, these are beautiful colours, ring shells that are huge, great big bursts. And look at those brilliant silver tails. There's the hearts.
The heart. Yeah, this is
look
the
at
heart
them down below. That's really clever to do that. It's all about, each one of those is a different comet, and they make different fireworks. That one may actually be a little barrage, potentially, but we then saw another effect that makes me think that these were single shots. Because after that we saw the smiley face.
Yeah.
Look at that. So it's very, very clever. And then we carry on with smiley face shells up. They were a little bit lost in the clouds, those ones. But like you say, it did clear a lot and make a lot of change.
Yeah, one of the things that I find so interesting about this particular display team is the biography that they submitted to the British Firework Championships. They said that none of their members are full-time. They have other jobs, and then they come together to do this because they just love the pyrotechnics, the firework industry. Yeah,
I think it's really good. We're probably going to find it's exactly the same situation with Team 3 tonight when we go down to them. I think that people like that really put in a lot of dedication. They've put in, clearly, a huge amount of effort into designing this show. So, yeah, I think it doesn't surprise me that they've produced a show like this, of this calibre, that to be able to be put on the on the British Firework Championship stage. But looking through this, lovely silver tails going on and lots of different colours going on as well. Red strobe there. And that big shell.
This is the thing, we've got, things
really
happening at different levels.
You've really felt that on your chest when that burst. That was one of the biggest shells that we've seen tonight. And fantastic. And you could just see that the cloud is clearing.
Yeah, I mean, it was... I think I'm allowed to say, because I'm not a judge, I think this has been my favourite one so far. There was just so much to look at. And, things happening down there on the breakwater, a lot of variety, things happening up high. The colours, all of it. I just thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, and we had also coming up lots of different coloured falling leaves. We had a big silver multi-flash sequence where the sky was just full of millions of little silver strobing stars. Spiral shapes. Do you remember that spiral?
Yes, I don't know if we've had it yet, or hopefully it's coming for us to look back on. That was a really unique... I don't think we've seen one of those in the displays so far.
No, and we also had, and we need to watch out for on this, we had fireworks coming out of the water. Okay,
yes.
So these are really clever. They fire, they're barrages of effects that get fired into the water.
Yeah.
And then after a little delay, they start popping out of the water. And I think it's the first one that we've seen that has fired those so far in the competitions. There's that silver multi-flash. Look at it, filling the sky.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. And then after that, we had the spiral shapes coming after, and we got some ring shells going on there, and there are the shapes, a kind of ghost effect there as it chases around.
There it is.
There's a spiral. Yeah, and look at those. Very, very clever, very high quality fireworks. These, they've done a lot to source them from good suppliers. Some jellyfish shells.
And the way this one's being fired here, it's alternating. So is this a moving... The tube that they're firing it from, the rig that they're firing on, this is
they call
moving?
it X-firing. No, it's not moving at all, but it's just tubes that are fired backwards and forwards, in time with each other.
Oh, and here you've got the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at those. They go out onto the water and then they start doing different effects. So yeah, very interesting. These ones more are going into the water. When you look at it back like that, you can see they're actually firing more into the water. But yeah, really, really good. And look, big brocade effects as well. We also had a little strobe sequence along the bottom where the fireworks were actually attached to the railing.
This is like
out
the
on
red,
the
red strobing.
Yeah, and that was demonstrating their rhythm firing in the show.
And rhythm is one of the components that the technical judges are going to be looking for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. One of the rhythm and timing is really important, and I can just tell you that we've had the green light from the King's Harbour Master for show 3 to go ahead. So we're all progressing fine with that. They are using the FireTech firing system. It's another radio operated system. Works on different frequencies to the Cobra firing system. The big shells here filling the sky. But, I mean, look at it. Didn't the Cobra system do well? Because it's fired...
I mean, considering it was getting a little bit hairy beforehand, they managed to get that all back together and it worked wonderfully.
Yeah, when we've got weather like this, anything can happen to any firing system. You don't want yours to be the one. But, all of our teams have been fortunate and everything's gone to plan. And then at the end, ghost shell sequence and big silver shells, red, white and blue we saw. Really, really good, strong effort from Celestial. Yeah. And in fact, I can tell you that Team 3 have armed their firing system.
Okay.
So they are getting ready.
Well, all right. Well, let's get the show on the road. We'll move forwards and look at our final display of the night, which is, it's a bittersweet moment because it means it's the last display we're going to see of the British Firework Championships. But we've got BBB fireworks coming up next. I was looking at these earlier. They are the firework arm of the oldest bonfire society in the world. We can see there you've got EST 1646. This is a proper old school fireworks team. Let's have a little look and meet them, and then we'll get chatting about what we can expect from them later. Here they are.
My name's Ollie Griffin. I'm the pyrotechnics manager of BBB Fireworks, a company based in Battle in East Sussex. Tonight, you can expect to see various effects from all over the world, from China, from Italy, from Spain, and from the UK. In particular, stuff to look out for tonight, we'll be sending up some really bright light fireworks with some really cool smoke effects underneath. We will also be doing a very technical show. We have over 1,800 single shots, so look out for various shapes and bits and pieces of that nature. We will be finishing off the display with a very loud grand finale of Super Gold Willows.
All right, BBB Fireworks, Andy. This is their first time here at the British Firework Championships, along with, you know, a few other teams that we've got displaying. In 2018, they took part in the Bonfire Society's Firework Champs for the first time, and they won it. So, you know, they've set the bar for themselves. They could well come and make a sweet first time of entry here too.
Yes, but nervous times for them because there's a 2-minute delay.
Oh, is there?
For the
What's
BBB.
happened?
We've just had an update from the adjudicator, Charlotte Winship. There will be a 2-minute delay for Team 2. I don't know what the issue is, but we will just put up with it. But that's fine because we can. There's plenty to talk about them. Battle Bonfire Boys is what the BBB stands for. They told me, I was chatting with Ollie Griffin earlier, a raucous start, loud, typically Sussex opening, because all the bonfire societies are based around Sussex and along the south coast. Big, loud opening with fireworks from Italy, Spain, China, and the UK again.
Yes.
They've all gone for those, haven't they? There's a really cool ghost shell sequence and ghost mines towards the end of this display. Finale, a big Plymouth-style brocadey finale using super gold willow shells from China, and I've been updated, and I have Anthony Green, who is our man as usual, out on the breakwater, updating us on what's going on live as it happens. And he's just updated me that there's a few fires out on the breakwater that need to be dealt with first. So we had those last night, and you would think that we wouldn't have fires with the rain. And
I mean, it is starting to tail off, the rain. Hopefully it stays like that. But it's great that you're getting these updates. I love it when you do it because it's like you're communing with the firework spirits over beyond. So everything is working, but it's just a couple of small fires that we're having to deal with.
So big Plymouth finale using super gold willow shells from China. They've got an inclusive section in this show showcasing diversity with rainbow mines and shells above, and then a patriotic section in red, white and blue, and a firework that I love. It's just you just can't get enough of these. You couldn't do a display only made out of them, but they've got turbo screamers.
Turbo screamers?
Yeah, they're made by a Spanish company called Europla. They fire loads of effects in a split second almost. And
are these noisy ones?
Yeah, they are. I'm not aware of us seeing some so far. But they go in the start, the middle, and the end. Yeah.
Well, the crowd are ready for the noisy ones.
And a really big thing to look out for that Ollie mentioned in his video was that his plan is to light up the sky with a bright white light and then put coloured smoke in front of it. So the coloured smoke will not be burning stars.
Right.
The white light will be the background to illuminate the smoke.
Okay. I see you communing again, Andy.
Yeah. So I'm getting a countdown, but I don't think we're starting. I'm not quite sure what
it could be a surprise. We got?
Oh, yes.
Here we go. BBB fireworks. Round of applause there from the audience, Andy. A very bright finale to our last display of the evening.
Yeah, BBB fireworks. Again, I think they'll be very happy with that. I know that they'll put a lot of effort and a lot of time with their whole crew. They've actually got 31 people that wanted to come here and work on the show tonight, but the competition rules only allow half of them.
Wow.
So Ollie was telling me earlier that it was a difficult decision as to who did it and who didn't do it. But I can tell you that the team that did it set the show up very well.
Yep.
We saw that. They were I think they were the first to finish setting up today.
Oh, wow.
And I can tell you that the rest of the 31, they are here. They're just watching from the opposite.
They brought the whole team down.
Yeah.
Great.
But didn't we? We saw some bow tie shells. We saw jellyfish. A lovely silver falling leaf sequence that ended with a big multi-flash shell, sort of silver multi-flash. So it was silver falling leaves coming down, and then we had that big flashing silver strobe background as well, which was really good. There were a few places during this where we lost a little bit of symmetry.
Okay.
And by that we mean we have more firing to the left than fully to the right.
To?
Not actually at this particular point, I should say, but during a couple of places, the judges may not take any view on that because the rest of the show they may take the view was absolutely excellent. It was really sensational. Here we've got blue and brocade effects. It's kind of like a flower crown now with the blue stars on the ends of it, and then the big brocades above with blue pistils. The centre of it is what is the pistil of it. And there's a big brocade. And we did feel with this show, the number of the shells that they were firing, you really did feel them, didn't you? When they burst, you feel them on your chest. There's some beautiful stuff. And then going down below, we've got different fireworks going off, orange mines.
What is the secret to putting a good show together? Because it's not necessarily about the quantity of fireworks, is it?
One of the things that's really important is the firework choice and what products are available. Certainly at the moment in difficult times, containers of fireworks are getting delayed from China, so not all of the stock is available. Sometimes you can plan a show and then be told that that's not available, so you have to make a last-minute change. So they'll no doubt have been contacting their suppliers and finding out product lists. Yep. And from there, they'll select products that they'd really like to feature and products that will go one with another and complement each other. And then they'll start putting together the show, and it will all come together. I imagine with BBB there were a number of people that were probably involved in sort of taking views on what they'd like to see in the display and whatnot. We also saw a red, white and blue sequence during the display, and the diversity sequence that Ollie was talking about.
We saw the rainbow along the bottom, Yeah,
they were beautiful, really bright. This is a silver falling leaf that we saw, and then we get the big multi-flash shells after these. Look at those,
so bright.
Yeah, drifting down, very peaceful, and there's that beautiful shell. And it hangs there for such a long time. Absolutely stunning firework that was, and that was one of the ones that you could really feel. And those you get real big cheers from the audience here at Plymouth.
Yeah,
they absolutely love the biggest stuff here.
Wait, what are these ones called here? That they kind of go off and they each seem to take a mind of their own.
Yeah, so they're like swimming stars that do those. Here we go. So lots of different trails there. We call it a wave effect with a colour star. So that's a blue wave that we can see here. These are
the lower down.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
A little bit uneven there, but not bad.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
Okay.
And then up above we've got crossets. So you remember those are the stars that burst into four. We've got purples and pinks. And look at this, like a beautiful butterflies. Can you see them? You've got the wings, and then you've got the little... And then the spiral shells as well.
I suppose part of these butterfly ones down here is crucial that they go at the same time.
It's all about the timing, and they nailed it. They got it absolutely correct there. We could tell exactly what they were doing. Lovely gold glitter effects, and then that turned into like a red strobe willow and more big shells. Those two burst together. They were very loud when they went. Silver, red, white and blue here. I think this is their... part of their red, white and blue sequence with the multi-flash shells there. And then is this the diversity sequence with the different colours?
Seeing a few colours down there at the breakwater.
Some lovely Farfallus butterfly shells, they're called, as well. We've seen some really good ones tonight. You always see loads of these at Plymouth.
Yeah.
They're one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'd like to include them in a display if I could. Look at the timing of that and the intensity of it down at the bottom, and then with the shells up above.
I was just going to say, you mentioned, 31 members in the team. Obviously, not all could be taking part, but is it possible they all would have been allowed to have a hand in the preparation, the design of this?
I'm sure that they will have been roped in, without doubt, in getting equipment ready, getting fireworks fused, and getting the cues that are needed to know which one of the firing system connectors to plug the particular firework in so it goes at the right time. Here we go, we've got like an orange wave effect down below, reds and greens up in the sky, and some shells going off, and those were bangs, salute shells. And you really held them. Red, white and blue above, and some falling leaves. Yeah.
You mentioned salutes. We've had maroons as well in previous display. Are they ranked by, the name dictates how noisy they are?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, they go by different ground salutes, ground maroons, salutes in the sky, maroons in the sky.
So it's not a case that a maroon is noisier than a salute and a salute is noisier than...
I think in most people's books they're not, no. I'm sure some grandmasters of fireworks will be putting me right or something, but no, I think they're interchangeable between them. They mean a bang.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, it does what it says on the tin. That's what you want. You want the fireworks to look bright and have a big bang, and they certainly had some of them in their display.
Brocade crowns with blues, and then some silvers, and those coconut tree pistol shells up above with blue stars. Very, very nice. More red, white, and blue as well.
When you have, these ones are slightly smaller, but when you have these really enormous, huge, singular, circular display fireworks, I think we may have had one at the beginning of this and certainly in the last display. What are they called? Are these brocade crowns, the huge solo ones, or are they something else?
Yeah, well, the brocade crown is a little bit like that. It's the big gold trailing ones. These ones have got crackles to them, so it's like a brocade to crackle effect. There's a big one going up.
Yeah.
Brocade to crackle. So lots of different sizes of them, but they really are one of the favourites, I think, and it's one of the most common shells that we see here. Look at that, just trailing in the sky. A sort of very delicate kind of crown shape. Some single shots going up here.
The hearts?
Heart shapes.
Loads of people using hearts this year.
One of the most popular, isn't it? Definitely. I think every show has featured heart shells in them.
And you mentioned how difficult it is getting them the right way round. It's luck of the draw, right?
Yeah, well, it is. But I learned something last night, and that is that the Japanese, they have acquired a way of making these things go off the right way up. And they put a heavy rope on some of them, and that weighs the shell down, and that stops it tumbling when it goes up into the sky. I never knew any of that, but that would mean that if you had a smiley face, it would always be smiling and never grumpy.
Ah, so maybe on the next championships we may see this technique utilised, perhaps?
There are some Japanese fireworks that have been imported into Europe, but they're few and far between, and extremely expensive. Look at these ring shells there, with a ghost sort of pattern going around the outside. And then we had some other ghost shells that we saw in this BBB display.
Yeah, I think we're getting towards the finale of BBB here, because this is about 9 minutes in. And the timing as well, sticking to that 10-minute time limit is absolutely crucial, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, absolutely. They are being timed from the last... We have traffic light shells at the start with the red, amber and green. There's timing starts at the green, and then it finishes when the last firework goes off. So they need to do it. But with today's modern firing, those were really loud bangs that when they went off. But with today's modern firing systems, you should get 10 minutes. It should just be a given that you get that. But here we go. We're going into finale territory. And these are big gold brocade shells filling the sky. And they added noise into this as well.
Because you mentioned they were going to fire off strobing fireworks to light up the sky. Is it important to get this kind of display out beforehand so you're building up that kind of layer in the sky to provide the slightly smokier backdrop?
Yeah, I must admit I didn't actually spot the silver with the pink and blue smoke. I was looking at, and I've been looking for it here. I hope I'm not doing them a disservice. Perhaps it didn't work out quite the same. There's the finale with the salutes, and just there's always one. You sometimes want to go and throw a bucket of water on it when you've got some fireworks still going, but you can't. Yeah. It's too dangerous. But that was a sensational show from BBB. Big brocade finish. And now it's really in the judges' hands. Yeah, well, that's it. We've had all 3 teams tonight and, of course, 3 yesterday. So those are our 6 displays in total. I am going to put you on the spot, Andy. If you were judging, based on what you've seen, what's your... I'm not going to ask you who's going to say, what's your prediction based on your expertise? Okay, I couldn't say exactly because remember we have a mix of lay judges, technical judges, and also the young person's choice as well. Those young people that are making their decision too here at Plymouth. We saw a really good, strong display from Pyrotex tonight, but we've also seen Celestial's display was really good. We've seen a great show here as well. I mean, all 3 shows tonight, it really is up in the air, and they've got a big decision on their hands. So I don't think that I could definitely say who's going to be the winner. Could you say if you think the winner is yesterday or today? No, that's the thing. You can't say for certain because the different judges will look for different things. Pyrotex is a fantastic experienced guy, Mark Kelsall. He's worked all over the world and he's just won in Canada. Has he just won in Plymouth? We don't know because, you know, we've seen some great shows tonight. It's very exciting. Yeah. OK, well, we wait with bated breath. The award ceremony will be happening after this. So if you want to find out who's won, you'll be able to find it on social media. Visit Plymouth will have the information as soon as it happens. Thank you so much, Andy, for being here, talking us through it. Your expertise has been invaluable. I hope you've enjoyed the last 2 nights. Yeah, very much. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the teams as well. Thank you to all of you that have been watching at home. We did say we would do some shout-outs. There's just so much fireworks. We never get around to it. But we have got a couple. Daniel Osmond, Hannah Pelling, Alan Jenkins, and my favourite, Day Trip Debbie, for getting involved in the online chat. We also have to give a big thank you to our BSL interpreters, Daryl and Sarah, who have been with us both nights, expertly providing the British Sign Language for all of our viewers here. Thank you to you guys, and that's it. We'll have to see who the winner is. See you in 2025. That's it from the British Firework Championships 2024.